Hey everybody, this is Mark J. Ryan. Welcome again. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about the coaching call that we had, the group coaching call the other day, and how fantastic it was. We had all kinds of testimonials right on the call itself because of some breakthroughs that people had. Had immediately that night people writing and telling us about it, and then the next day we had some more. Call was originally planned for 2 to 3 hours, ended up going 3.5 hours, actually closer to 4, and I added some things out, some breaks that we took, and the end of it, and a little bit in the beginning while we were setting up the phone call on it. So overall, it was 3.5 hours of an incredible call. Probably the first, it was set up to do about an hour. I ended up doing about 2 hours with some questions in between and a little bit of mini coaching in between the actual teaching. And what the teaching was is what I've been doing over the last who knows how many years, but basically really started when we got into the coaching probably about 10 years ago with John Overdurf. Coaching was starting to come in, and we wanted to take the NLP and the material that we learned in hypnosis and putting into the coaching model because therapeutically it works so well. And John Overdurf helped create a coaching model that we could use. Well, we've been on calls doing about 6 hours a month for the last 8 years with this coaching model, refining it, improving it. We do live sessions between one of us will be a coach and the other one will be a client, and then we analyze it to see what the coach did and what the client was saying and how to get more specific on to people's behaviors and problems and issues or where they want to go to make that happen quicker for them. So over that period of time, we've really refined it. And then within the last couple of years, neuroscience and brain science has come out with some amazing stuff, just an incredible technology that shows that what we're doing is actually working and how it's working. So once we have that and we know what's working, we can take what we're doing and refine it and make it even better. So the last probably 6 months or so on the coaching call, it's been really exciting with the new changes and techniques and ideas that we've been coming up and practicing with. And when I started doing the coaching for a group coaching call, thinking, do I do it for a membership site or do I just do some group coaching call? One of the things with the coaching over and over, people said, I can't afford it. I can't afford your rate, but I know you're doing some work. I hear the testimonials. I see the results in other people. How can I get involved in this? And so I sat around for a few months thinking, all right, how do I do this? Nothing really came to me. And then as I explained in the last video about several of my friends dying, one of them was a coaching client that had cancer but had a year to live, and she wanted to fulfill and finish her book, and within a couple of weeks she was dead. And so she was pacing out my coaching and what to learn based on what she could afford at that time, and it just wasn't enough time for her. So that really kind of put me into high gear about the coaching model. So we did this call, and I said, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll charge $47, make it 2 to 3 hours, and I will take the information that I've learned that I use to work with people and say, what can they do by themselves? And that's what I did for the first 2 hours. I went through taking this information and saying, how do we apply this? How can we apply this ourselves and do the best we can with what we have? And then I figured if I would take the rest of the time of the call and coach a few people, so I had some coaching intake forms coming in, then actually, after teaching them a lot of what I'm doing or how they can do it, take a few people through this. Ended up taking about 5 people altogether through the question and answering, and the actual 2 people that sent the intake forms, but I did some other coaching with people. And it was incredible. It was really incredible. And the group itself, like one of the gentlemen that was on the call said, look, I came in here to better my performance, and I've never heard anybody talk about their problems before like you had people talking about their problems. And it shifted things in me, hearing human beings go through that process. So that was my intention, to say, how do I not only teach this, but actually get them to have a shift, to be encouraged to do this again. And again, it turned out to be just a fantastic call, much better than I had hoped. The results, the testimonials, the feedback. And the one thing everybody asked me is, when are you going to do this again? When are you going to do the next one? So we are going to do another one in March. But I highly recommend the teaching that I put into this. The quality of teaching, the quality of information is top-notch. Stuff that's just coming out. I just got a book, listened to an interview. Some of the things he was saying made sense to me, so I applied that. I also took the people through 2 exercises as a group that one of them really got huge results. And I thank John Overdurf for that. That's something I learned last year, something he came up with in Phoenix. at Trance of a Lifetime. And so the whole thing, the call, the information that you'll go through in 2 hours, and then you'll hear questions from people and me kind of working through that stuff with them. Then you have the 2 exercises I did, and then I worked for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, close to 2 hours on coaching with some people, so you could actually hear it and feel it in motion. And let me tell you, I set this thing up so you don't even have to really do the exercises. If you'll sit there and listen and pay attention and put your awareness on what I'm doing and listen to what I'm doing, you will get shifts just paying attention to the call, listening to the call, doing nothing else, not even doing the exercises. Listen to the call. You will get shifts and changes and results. I promise you. So initially I wasn't going to make a product out of this. I was just going to do the call and then go on to something else, maybe put it into a membership site. But again, the results were phenomenal. The call I'm very pleased with. So I'm going to make this available to you for the same price that people paid in the call. Granted, you won't be able to have the coaching, but you'll have access to something that's much more valuable than the $47 that they paid to get into the call and that you'll pay for this call. Well worth it. It's a download MP3. It's about 3.5 hours. It is 3.5 hours long altogether. People said that they couldn't believe how fast the time went by because we kept them engaged. So I know that just like the people that were on the call that didn't participate got results, and people participated for one thing got results in other areas, what can you get results in? You got to get this call, because there's going to be some great future ones as well, but this one is the foundation of it. Get this call, listen to it, and I think you'll be amazing. I don't care if it's about money, if it's about coaching, if it's about relationships, whatever. I meant this to be a process-oriented system that you could use for just about anything. So this is Mark J. Ryan. Hope to get some testimonials and feedback from you about the call if you weren't on it by purchasing this, and look forward to seeing you on future calls. Thanks.